Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to Livestream Tuesday. This is the time of the week where we go live, see who's online in that comment section and also play through a few videos. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything's working. I've been pushing my technical abilities to the absolute limit on YouTube and with this software that I use. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to work tonight because I wanted to do something a little bit different because this is the first week that we've passed 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is just crazy. And without further ado, I want to bring in to the screen the comment section, and it's worked. There's a little thing that I put above the comment section, which is on that side, wherever it is. I'm looking at myself in reverse, so I always get it wrong. But hello guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And let me scroll to the top if that's possible. I'm not sure that I can even do that, but we've got Laurie and Thomas and Carla and Michelle and Lisa and Carl and IP Survivor and Kathy and Leroy and Tara. Hello guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And without further ado, I want to get the names of my patrons up on screen as well, because they are a massive reason of why this channel has grown as it has, because I've been enabled to put out a new video every night because of the support from my patrons. So I want to get their names going along the bottom of the screen. And another thing that I put up there in the corner, I had this light in the background that said like and subscribe, and I had to keep refilling it with batteries, and then they ran out, and then it was too bright, and I've worked out how to get it on screen. As I said, I pushed everything to the limit for tonight, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it's all going to work. It might work, I do not know. And we've got some action in the super chat as well, and I've been busy with the super chat thing animation, and it's Rose who has donated $20. Thank you so much for that, Rose. And there's no message with that, just a straight up donation. And it looks like there's a lot of stuff going on screen at the moment, and hopefully it'll work. We will see. Obviously, it's thinking about a lot more in terms of the computer, so we'll just have to see if it remains throughout the whole live stream. It would be cool if I could keep these things on screen for the live stream, and hopefully it's all in the right aspect ratio, if that's the word. Well, I'm not sure if that's the right word for it, but you know what I mean in terms of everything that can be seen. But I might have to tweak it as we go, but we will see. Anyway, guys, as you come through the door, if you can leave a like, that'd be massively appreciated. Maybe I should have done a little thing on screen about trying to hit 300 likes for the live stream. That's always the target. But then again, if I have anything else on screen, there's a danger of just not seeing me at all because there's so much going on. But anyway, guys, hello in that comment section. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. We're going to be getting stuck into the first video. This was requested by Thomas over on Patreon. I always tell my patrons when I'm about to go live. This time they actually got an hour's warning, which meant that sometimes it's only half an hour and they don't get too much warning. But thank you guys for the suggestions and requests over there. And as you could probably tell, they got an hour warning because I had an extra half an hour, which is the time that I spent doing all of this graphical stuff before we actually went live, which was good. The only downside to that is I haven't been able to import some of the other requests. So I've managed to do most of the requests over on Patreon. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to do other requests, but we will see how we go throughout the show, and apologies for that if I missed out your request in the live stream, but I was messing around with all these graphics. Anyway, we're going to be getting straight into the video as soon as we've addressed this action in the super chat window. We've got Floppy Bob who has donated $20, and Floppy Bob says you're the best, so thank you for that, Bob. And Sandy is in the house. She has donated $5, and the message is congrats on 100k. Please come to the US and play some gigs in New York. That almost rhymed apart from the bit at the end, but thank you so much for that, Sandy. And fingers crossed one day I'll be making it over to the USA and we can play some songs and maybe I mentioned last week about Frank Marino wanting to get together, maybe do a gig together. That could be something that could happen in the future. Who knows? That would be really cool to do a show with Frank. But thank you, Sandy, for that donation. And then Carla has donated $4.99 and says congrats. So thank you, Carla. And with Carla and the other people that are in charge of the comment section, the moderators, the official name for them, thank you guys for doing everything that you do in the comment section. I really appreciate it, and it keeps the comment section a really cool place to be. So thank you guys, and thank you everybody for joining me tonight. We're going to get into the first video. This is the live version of Hero from the live stream, and this was requested by Thomas over on Patreon, so I hope you guys like this, and I'll see you guys straight after. I'll be in the comment section as always. See you after this. Rock. And there we have it. That was my song called Hero, the live version from the live stream gig that I did. And just to mention as well, the same thing is happening with the super chat window. YouTube hasn't got it ratioed correctly. I don't know what the word is for that, but it means it's cutting off the bottom number and message, so we can just see, maybe you can see on the screen, Kathy donated $20. Thank you so much for that, Kathy, and that was a straight up donation with no message. And then Leroy has donated $5, and on my screen it cuts off underneath Leroy's name, and I think maybe it might be the same on what you guys are seeing, but I can click on the thing on the right hand side and see the message, and it says you need to do a review of Rare Earth. So thank you for that, Leroy, and I'll make a note of that request and put it on my list. And thank you so much for the donation. And amazingly, I think fingers crossed, everything's working on screen and we're still live, which is great. And this is the point at which I say spike the likes if it's possible on the 10th minute of the live stream. We'll see if we can get a little bit of a spike going. If you can hit that thumbs up, I'm not sure how many we're up to yet, but we always aim for 300 on the live streams, so hopefully we might be able to get somewhere near that. So it has been a momentous week. I think actually the 100,000 subscriber party is 1,000 subscribers too late, because I think it's just past 101,000. So a massive thank you to all of you who have liked the videos and subscribed to the channel, because it is a bit of a crazy number at the moment, and hopefully, fingers crossed, things will go into the future and people will keep joining and we'll get a nice community here where we can just take over the world musically and get lots of other artists known on YouTube, especially artists from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even before that I've done artists from the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. So it'd be great to just have a channel that encompasses all music ever, and we get to see lots of fantastic artists, but fantastic commenters and likers that you guys are. It's such an interesting place to be in that comment section, and I thumbs up and hit the heart thing to indicate that I've read everybody's comments underneath the video. So if you see a long line of that, it just is me going through the comments and making sure that I make a note of all of the requests and also see what you guys are saying in that comment section. But again, thank you guys for joining me tonight, and to my patrons whose names are going along the bottom of the screen. This always happens on the live stream Tuesdays. If you want to get involved yourself and have your name at the bottom of the screen, then you can head over to patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. And I did a Patreon link at some point, and there it is on screen. So you can go to that site if you want to have your name on the screen during the live streams, and you can get other stuff at that site. You can also get underneath this video in that tray that's underneath t-shirts, which I've got on here. I've actually got on my Wings of Pegasus t-shirt, which is amazing because I just never remember to do it on the live streams. But you can get your hands on one of these if you want. There's another one, another design, which is more the classic design that you can also get your hands on. So just click on the tray underneath the video for t-shirts and head over to Patreon and do all of that cool stuff. But the reason that these live streams are now looking so professional is because of the support over on Patreon, and also the super chat donations in the live stream make such a difference. So thank you guys so much for donating during this live stream. And just having mentioned that as well, I think we've just had another donation. Is it Kathy has donated $5? I'm trying to keep a track on everything because I can't see the bottom of the screen. It's not moving up, but Kathy has just donated $5. Thank you so much for that, Kathy. And Gary has just donated $10 as well. So thank you for that, Gary. I'm not sure whether it's showing up on your screen. Hopefully I'll be able to sort this out. Oh, we can see it in the comment section, so you can see Gary's name going through. Thank you so much for that, Gary. That's a $10 donation, and Kathy with $5 before that. So we're going to be jumping into the next video, and this is going to be me playing some guitar. This was another request over on Patreon, and it's my cover of the Van Halen show-off piece, I guess you'd call it, Eruption. It doesn't have the drums on there because I just forgot to put drums on there. I just learned it on the guitar and then recorded it and then realised, oh, I should have put the drums on because there are drums on this. But this is my version, trying to get it as close as possible notes-wise with the original Van Halen Eruption. And it's something that I have mentioned before. A lot of players put in lots of other techniques and notes that aren't originally in the piece, so I tried to keep it as accurate as possible. Just quickly to mention that Luan, who has just mentioned, is there a story behind Percy Johnson? So this was just a song that I had an idea for. I think it was inspired by Bond films, that kind of thing, espionage, all of those kinds of things. So when I was thinking about lyrically, I wanted to write something in that vein and something up-tempo. I just went down that avenue, and that's just what came out. Percy Johnson was one of those songs that I had an idea for. I had a riff and I had an idea for a kind of song that I wanted to write lyrically, and those two things came together and worked well together. At least in my opinion, I thought they worked well. So I stuck that premise, that idea for a song with the riff, and then Percy Johnson came out, and I will be playing that later, Luan, so thank you for mentioning that and requesting. Like I said, over on Patreon, I'm going to be getting through the requests, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get to most of those, and we've got 3 more videos that I'm going to play, so the next one will be Eruption. I just quickly want to mention as well, in the super chat donation, we have had another donation from Jen of $5. Thank you so much for that, Jen. And Jen says, did you check out the Hard Rock Guitar Hotel in Florida? So I haven't been to it, but I've seen it in terms of on the internet, but I haven't been there. Maybe one day. Florida is also one of those places that I have been to, and it's the only place that I've been to in the USA, unfortunately. And back when I went, it was when I was a lot younger, to Disney World, as probably everybody knows now. But maybe it's a place that I can visit in the future. That would be cool, and maybe rub shoulders with some of you guys over in the Hard Rock Guitar Hotel in Florida. That would be amazing. But Jen, thank you for that donation. And Lisa has donated $10 as well. Thank you, Lisa, for that. I'm just going to check the message. And the message is, what was your reaction to finding out you had 100,000 subs, and how have you celebrated? So my reaction was disbelief, and I think I'm always in a state of disbelief because I don't really think about the numbers too much, because when you think about 100,000 people, it's just a bit crazy. So I think I just keep on doing what I'm doing in exactly the same way that when I first started was with 25 patrons, and right at the beginning with 1 patron. I just keep on doing the same kind of thing. And that's how the analysis videos came about, of them being requested over on Patreon. So I did them, and it just so happens that a couple of years later, we're now at 100,000 subscribers. And it'll be interesting to see where we end up if we can just keep on going, because I think if I just keep doing the same thing and keep seeing you guys on a Tuesday night, it's working, everything's fine. Just keep on going in the same direction, and hopefully, fingers crossed, in the future we'll keep on meeting up on Tuesday nights. If things do get super huge, then maybe I might be off doing things on other days. I'm always going to try and keep Tuesday night free as a live stream night, because that would be a nice thing to do throughout my entire career on YouTube and my entire music career. It might be the point that I might be doing a gig in front of you guys on a Tuesday night, because that would be really cool to do as well, instead of a live stream. But anyway, thank you so much, Lisa, for that donation. And Kathy has donated $10 as well. And Kathy, I can't see the message at the moment, so we'll be getting into that message after we've looked at this video that I was going to introduce a while ago, but we're going to get to it now. So this is my version of Eruption by Van Halen, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock! And there we have it. That was my cover of Eruption by Van Halen, including trying to turn down the volume on the guitar to keep it all quiet, because at the end of that original Eruption by Van Halen, he just locks it into that tune and it just continues on. But unfortunately, I didn't have the pedal in order to achieve that effect, so I just had to turn it down as quietly as possible. But I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and we're going to be getting into the super chat donation window again, because the message that we had before that I couldn't see from Kathy, and Kathy's was a $10 donation. Thank you for that, Kathy. Says, please do, Audio Slave, Cochise, would love your take on Chris's voice on this track. Thank you. And thank you for that, Kathy. I'm going to make a note of all of the requests that I can during the live stream, and it will go certainly on my list. Thank you so much for that donation. We've had another crazy donation, and this is Linda, who has donated $101, and there is a message with that. Here we go. Yeah, I can go into the other window and it's still there, and it says, to say we're proud of you is an understatement. Here's to your outstanding achievement of 101,000, and thanks for playing my request with some rock horns. So thank you, Linda, so much for that donation. That is crazy stuff, but it is massively appreciated, because it just helps with everything. All of the super chat donations help so much with the channel, and these people at the bottom of the screen as well, whose names you can also see in the super chat window. So you guys know who you are in terms of patrons who donate as well through the super chat. Thank you guys so much for all of your interaction on YouTube as well, not just the donations, but liking the videos and just watching all of the videos. And this is the thing, that there are so many videos out there. I think sometimes maybe too many videos. I try and just do one a night. That seems to be the amount of videos that I like to produce. And for those of you that are always there night after night, thank you so much for joining me for an analysis every single night of the week, apart from Tuesday night, which is when I get to chat to you guys and also see who's in the comment section. And mentioning that, we're going to jump into the comment section and see who is there. I'm going to have to scroll down, maybe we'll have a little look. What I can see is KADJ and Peter and Don and L. Arthur and Elusive Rainbow and Jen and Leroy as well. Hello guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. We're going to be jumping into the next video, and Josh has just donated $1.99 and says, congrats, and your channel is awesome. So thank you for that, Josh, massively appreciated, and for the kind words as well. And let's have a little look. Arcane Rhythm Lennon said, wait there, you said 101,000, surely not. Yes, it is true, and I think maybe I get the numbers before anybody else, so it might still say 100,000 on YouTube, but in my YouTube app it says 101,000 and something else. So we have passed that either today or yesterday, I'm not sure, but people are certainly flocking along, which is great, and the more the merrier as far as I'm concerned on the channel. But we will try and get into the next video. Empress Mermaid has donated $2 as well, and the message is, would you ever consider covering a country song? Now this is something that people who have watched this channel for a while will know, that I struggle with accents and pronunciations, just getting the right way of saying things. And country is one of those styles of music that I don't have the accent. When I sing, I use the vowel modifications, which everybody else uses, in order to change the vowel sound the higher you go in your voice. So it's why everybody sounds the same when they sing, and it has an American sound to it because of the vowel modifications. Whereas the thing about country music is, there are the same vowel modifications, but there's a twang of an accent. And I can't do accents. I can't even do American. I just happen to sound a little bit like that because of the vowel modifications that I use when I'm singing. So I'm not sure I could ever do a country song justice, because I wouldn't be able to put that twang in it with the accent. But maybe it could be possible maybe to just sing it with my own sound and hopefully not murder the track. But it's possible, something that I could do in the future. I think certainly in terms of guitar solos, there are some Glenn Campbell solos that are really cool to play on guitar, so I could maybe just do a cover of a Glenn Campbell solo at some point, because it's just so much fun to play around with on the fretboard, because Glenn was just such an amazing player. But he's one of those guys that was a legend, and his stuff being on YouTube is great, because even though he's not around anymore, people can go back and check out what an amazing player Glenn Campbell was. But anyway, thank you so much, Empress Mermaid, for that donation. And then we had Chopping Broccoli in the house again tonight with a $20 donation. And let's have a look at the message. It says, like I said in a comment on one of your vids, huge congrats on your 100k. No one on this thing called YouTube deserves it more. You've worked your ass off and we know it. So thank you so much for that donation, $20, and for the kind words. I think if I just keep on plowing ahead with the amount of support that I've got, it allows me to do that. So as long as you guys are here, I'll keep on producing videos. And Stephen has donated $10 as well. And the message is, congratulations, Phil. So thank you, Stephen, for that donation. And Ian has donated $50. And Ian says, what is your holy grail guitar? The one you would give up all your other guitars for? That's an interesting question, because it depends on what I'm playing. For example, more recently, if I'm waiting for one of my YouTube videos to upload, it can be a long process sometimes. So I just put on some backing tracks. And for blues, I use my Fender Strat. And it's the Fender Strat, actually, that I got sent by Fender. So again, massive thank you to them for sending me one. And it depends. If I want to play something a little bit more technical, then the gem that Mario sent me, if you see Mario's name in the comment section, everybody say hello, Mario. But I haven't seen it there tonight, but I'll look out for those shout outs. But Mario sent me, yeah, the Steve Vai, just a classic speed guitar that you can play so much cool stuff on, and that's the gem. If you want to go and look it up, I'm not sure, it's not in the background on tonight's video, but yeah, it really does depend on what I'm playing. I've also got an Ibanez Geo, which is a lot of fun to play if I'm detuned. So if I'm playing detuned stuff, I'll go to that. So in terms of a particular guitar that I would use and not use any others, I don't think that would ever happen. I'd always have different guitars for different styles and the kind of music that I was playing at the time, because certainly on the Fender Strat, the bassy bottom end, the thickness of the lower end of that tone can't be matched by my Ibanez guitars. So yeah, it chops and changes. But thank you, Ian, so much for that donation. $50, again, another crazy donation. We have had another donation, $9.99 from Tara, who says, congrats on 100k Phil with the rock horns. So thank you, Tara, for that. And underneath that, we've got Karen, who has donated $24.99, and the message with that says, your accent is just fine. Thank you for the best school of rock on YouTube. So thank you, Karen, and no problem. It's my pleasure. It's always interesting to check out lots of artists and bands that I might not necessarily listen to a lot of. And there are some people that have said, well, one comment today, so not some people, but somebody did ask if I've seen the videos before that I'm analysing. And almost certainly I have seen them before, because I've been teaching guitar for so long that I've taught a hell of a lot of different styles of playing and different songs over the years. So I've probably looked at most music videos out there, but occasionally there will be one that pops up that I haven't seen before. So I like to check it out. And if there's something that I don't know, or if it's a band that I know nothing about, I like to do some research. So at least I know the band, I know the band members, I know when they formed and maybe a few of their albums, because I think there's not really, at least in my opinion, any value to me talking about a band and not introducing them to people and having some facts. Or if somebody does want to check out a particular band that they've never heard of, at least have an album that they can go and check out and realize how long they've been playing for and all those kind of things. So I like to do a little bit of research, even if I've never heard of the band before. But for most intents and purposes, I've actually heard of the band and the artist, especially when they're big acts that get suggested and requested on the channel. But thank you, Karen, for that. We've had another donation, and this is Don, who has donated $1.99. Thank you so much for that, Don, and I can't see the message under that at the moment, but hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to get access to that after this video. I'm going to be playing the Percy Johnson lyric video that was requested over on Patreon, and this might have been Luan, but I'm going to check if it was, and let me have a little look here. And it was. So Luan, thank you so much for requesting this one over on Patreon. And here we go. This is the lyric video from my track called Percy Johnson, available on my album called Persistence, which is available on iTunes, Amazon, and also my website, wingsofpegasus.com, and you just go to the store section, you'll be able to find the album there, which also has Hero on, which I played at the beginning of this live stream as well. But just quickly as well, Vince has donated $25. Thank you so much for that, Vince. And quickly, I'm going to catch the message. Phil, congrats on 100k. You deserve the recognition, no question. Just sending you felicitations. So thank you, Vince, so much for that, and for using a very long word to challenge my diction on the live streams and my pronunciation. But thank you, Vince, for that donation. We're going to be jumping into this next video, which is my Percy Johnson lyric video, as requested by Luan. I'll be in the comment section as always, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Beyond London
So that was my track called Percy Johnson. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I think we have Mario in the house somewhere. So everybody say hello to Mario in the comments section. Hi Mario, thanks for joining us tonight. And we've had a couple more donations as well in the super chat. So firstly, Talex001, $5. Thank you so much for that. And the message is, need to hear you sing Cheer Up Sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean? You have the voice for it. So thank you. Yes, that is very much something that I could probably be found singing with everybody else at a New Year's Eve party, maybe something like that. It always tends to come on. But thank you so much for that donation of $5. And Lynn has donated $50. So thank you so much for that, Lynn. And the message is, thanks for making music sound better than it ever did. Thank you, Lynn. No problem. Thank you so much for that donation. And underneath that, we've got Michaeline, who has donated $9.99. And I'm just going to see if I can get that message. And here we go. It says, thanks for turning me on to Gary Moore. So thank you for that, Michaeline, and no problem. Gary Moore was one of those guitarists who I listened to a lot of when I was younger, especially learning to play and working out some of those blues lines, and also his songs like Out in the Fields, Run for Cover, all of those tracks that were hard rock and borderline metal that was also something that Gary could do, as well as jazz and blues and so many different styles that he could play in. So no problem, Gary's just an amazing player. But thank you so much for that donation, Michaeline, and thank you everybody for tuning in tonight and joining me in the comments section. Everybody hopefully has said hello to Mario, so giving him a virtual wave in the comments section. I don't know if you can do that on the comments, in the live comments. Maybe there are emoticons. I can see a few running through, so hopefully that's something that works. Sometimes I do see, I think maybe it's exclusive to these super chat donations where there's this little green man, and that's something that pops up occasionally. I haven't seen him in the comment section. I'm now attributing an emoticon to a him, and maybe we can find a name for that green guy that turns up in the super chat donations, because he does lots of different things, and I don't know how it happens, but thank you guys for clicking on all of these interesting things. And Rose has just donated $5, and the message is, let me try and get that message. It says it's been retracted, so maybe Rose has accidentally clicked on something. And what I'm saying about accidentally clicking on things and typing in things, if you do accidentally make a donation, don't worry about it. You can message me and we can sort it out after the live stream. So if you do accidentally, sometimes it can happen where you donate more than you are aiming to. It's absolutely fine, and don't worry about it at all. We can sort it out afterwards. But thank you, Rose, for that $5 donation. Even though that message didn't show up, I did see something go through the screen, but maybe it has disappeared. But maybe we will find it further on in the live stream. So let me ask you guys, if you haven't so far, to please hit that thumbs up, and it really does help to get this live stream out there, but also get the whole channel out there and spread the word to even more people. Something that KADJ said in the comment section was that 100,000 people was more than you could fill a football stadium with, and maybe Wembley Stadium, I'm not sure how much Wembley holds, it's around 80,000 or something like that, maybe 85, but yeah, it's a crazy number to think about. Sitting people down at a stadium and getting to that many subscribers is just crazy. So thank you guys, everybody, for hitting that like and subscribe button, which is now attached to the top of the screen, as you might notice, unless this is your first live stream. If it is, hello and welcome, but if you've been here for a while, you'll now get these new things on screen that hopefully it looks like it's not affecting the quality of the stream, so I might be able to do this every time. I did this with a mind of having a celebration for getting to 100,000 subscribers, so I put something at the top of the comment section, which is just over there, and the super chat, which is over there, and I can now work out which way to point, because I look at myself in reverse on the screen, and it's a really tiny screen, so I have to look at another window to see the comments. So if I do occasionally incorrectly say a comment, then I apologize because the letters are very small. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me tonight on Livestream Tuesday. We're going to be getting into the last video of the night. Last week we had so many donations as well. Thank you guys so much for that. And I was spending a lot of time going through the names, but we're going to be getting into the last video of the live stream. Maybe because it's a celebration type video, we could squeeze in one more before the end. Maybe. Fingers crossed, we'll have to see. But this is going to be my video that I always suggest that don't watch it if you're faint of heart, because I walk around London without my top on. But I'm going to see. It was Ian that has requested this over on Patreon. Thank you, Ian, for requesting this. This is normally one of those videos that is requested by either Laurie or somebody else over on Patreon, and it's Ian that has suggested it this time. So thank you, Ian, so much for this. It's going to be my track called That's Metal to My Ears, and just a quick introduction to it. It's something where I was trying to roll everything into a video that was 80s in terms of being topless, having guitar solos, harmonies as well, vocally, all of those things that were around in the 80s with hard rock and metal. I was rolling into this one video, and walking around London without a top on just seemed like the right thing to do at the time. So here we go. This is my track called That's Metal to My Ears. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm going to be in the comment section as always, and I'll see you guys after. Rock! And there we have it. That was my song called That's Metal to My Ears. And what I liked about doing that video, somebody said it must have taken some balls to get out there and do it. The great thing about the public is if you are having a good time and playing music out loud and getting into it and just being happy, generally people are happy as well. And it's another thing that in London you're not really allowed to film just like I did, just set up and go out and film, because there's some laws against it and the police might get involved. But the police on the day were getting into it as well, so it just goes to show that sometimes common sense prevails, and if people are having a great time and you're just enjoying yourself, there's nothing wrong. Even some laws aren't really applicable to that kind of situation. When everyone's having a great time, you don't have to hand out lots of pieces of paper that say, oh, are you happy that I show you in my video, and all that kind of stuff. Everyone was just into it. So that's what I'm all about, just all inclusive. If you're having a good time and you're not doing any harm, then I don't see the problem with anything like that. But anyway, we've had another donation in the super chat window, and underneath Rose it does say message retracted, so unfortunately we've lost that message from Rose. But Chopping Broccoli has donated $10, and the message with that was, I might have missed it since I was late, but I hope you do get to have a celebration party in person with some of your fans, as I'm sure they'd love to meet you. So thank you for that donation and for the message. I think the problem is that a lot of people are from the USA and I'm in the UK, so I'm not sure how many people from the UK check out my videos. I know some people do, or some people must do, because of the analytical breakdown on YouTube, but in terms of meeting up with them, I think they know that I'm just outside London. But I'm so busy doing stuff, I'm pretty much always at a computer or doing the analysis videos, editing, uploading, playing, teaching, so I'm pretty busy the whole time. I'd have to probably take a bit of a holiday, and especially I'd need to do that to go over to the USA, but you never know. Some things just can happen. Anything's possible in the future. Anything can happen in the future, so we will see. But thank you so much for that donation, Chopping Broccoli, of $10, and Kim has just donated $20 as well. And Kim says, since you didn't sing in your band in the beginning and then you decided to give it a go, were you a natural or did you take lessons? So with singing, I just downloaded stuff from the internet, watched YouTube videos, and I still do that to this day. I've been through maybe 3 or 4 singing courses, but the problem that I have, which I think a lot of other, well, vocalists, but people in general have when they start singing later in life, is that there are so many bad habits that I've picked up from learning to sing myself. I try to make the noises without really knowing what I was doing in terms of trying to sound good as a singer, and then it means that when I go higher up in my range, I'll strain for notes and use too much air, and all of these things that the vocal cords are so different to every other thing that you will play as an instrument. Like with the guitar, you can't play a guitar wrong in terms of when you push down the string onto the fretboard, you will get that note. If you push down hard enough, you will get it. There's nothing that you can do to avoid getting that note. If you're in tune, it's going to work. With your vocal cords, you can know in your mind all of the techniques, all of the things that you want your vocal cords to do, but getting them to do it is a whole nother ball game. Because if everyone could do that, because you know, if you understand the theory, everyone can read about the voice and know how it works, but then getting them to do it, it is so difficult, especially when you have bad habits. So in short, I've learned to sing myself, and I've got to the point where I am now just through watching videos on YouTube and going through different courses of other singers. Some of those worked a little bit, some of them haven't really. I'm at the moment going through a guy called Eli Princeton, and it's called a hybrid vocal technique, but I know a lot of the theory behind singing, and I know enough of the theory behind singing to be able to sing myself to an acceptable level so that when I hear it back, I think, well, that's okay. My technique is okay for where I'm at now, but I'd love to be able to add a lot more range to the top of my voice. But it means that because I've learned to, learned to sing from scratch, it's easy for me to say, because I've learned to sing from scratch, I know the process and how it works, and I think I can relate a lot to other people who are learning to sing, and I can explain things about the things I went through when I was learning to sing and the things that I struggled with, and probably similar things that everybody else struggles with as well. Some people who have been singing from childhood, I think, just have worked out the way to use their vocal cords the most efficient way because they were using them the most efficient way as kids. You don't tend to strain. Like when you're singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star as a child, you don't strain, you just do it. And that is the point about singing when you're a kid. If you can keep on singing then into adulthood, you've already got the technique in there. Your range will drop, especially if you're a guy, obviously, but you'll have the right technique fundamentally. And getting that technique, rewinding the clock to when you were a child, is such a difficult process to go through with bad habits. But anyway, Kim, thank you so much for that donation and for, well, just tuning in. As everybody, that goes for you guys in the comments section. I really appreciate your company on this Tuesday night. We have had we've actually had a few donations. Thank you guys so much for these donations. I'm gonna have to scroll up to get back to Kim, and there it is. So thank you so much for that donation, Kim. And Don donated after that $3.99 that says we need a t-shirt that says absolutely spot on. So thank you, Don. Yeah, we could have absolutely spot on and maybe spike the likes, and that could be another one that we could have. But thank you, Don, for that suggestion and for the $3.99 donation. Randy has donated $10. Thank you for that, Randy. It says, hi Phil, thanks for all the great music review. So no problem. Thank you for that donation, Randy. $10. And then Rose has donated $5, and it's, well, the message says the message was, how do you pronounce coupon? Americans can't agree on how to say it. So that is how we say coupon in England. I'm not sure how you could say that any other way other than coupon, but I'm sure maybe somebody can type it in the comments as to how people in the USA say it. There must be another way of saying it, but for me, an O and a U, coupon, that's how we say it here in England. But thank you for that question, Rose. We will get to the bottom of that in the comments section. Somebody maybe who has a talent for typing out pronunciations can do that in the comments section, and we will see how we get on. Anyway, Patrick has donated $2 as well. Thank you, Patrick, for that. And the message is, love the channel, as you well know, Phil. So thank you for the kind words, Patrick, and for tuning in and for checking out the analysis videos. Sally has donated underneath that with $30. Thank you so much for that, Sally. And the message is, congrats on 100,000 subscribers. Happy to finally join tonight. So thank you so much for joining us, Sally, live tonight, and for that $30 donation. And then we've had another donation underneath that, and this is the final one, so it's a little bit cut off, unfortunately. It's Empress Mermaid, again, a serial donator with $5. Thank you so much for that. And the message was, also need a shirt that says, let's see how they get on. This is it. We need so many different quotes, maybe all on one shirt. You can have them on the front and on the back, and people won't know what the hell you're wearing because it's just random quotes all over it. But then if they start watching the channel, it will all make sense. So thank you so much for that, Empress Mermaid, and for the message, and for tuning in, all of you guys in the comment section. We're going to be winding it up soon for this special 100,000 subscribers party live stream that we're having tonight. And I might be able to squeeze in one more video. And because this is a celebration, I'm going to throw this one out there. It's probably going to have to be one of my songs because with the copyrights, I can only play one video on a live stream, else it gets a little bit complicated. I also have a copyright claim on my own music because it's done through another publishing company, which are set up, and they're called TuneCore, by the way. If you are in a band and you're wondering about publishing and copyrights, TuneCore is a company where you just pay them, I think maybe £30 or $30 a year, and they take care of all of your publishing on the internet and radio and everywhere. And they don't take a percentage. It's something that I mention on so many different videos about record companies and publishing companies that take 98% of everything that they get, well, of their artists, 98% of everything of their artists' material, everything that they write. So TuneCore is a company that you can go to. And by the way, I haven't been paid to say this, I just use them. So it's something that you pay, that £30, $30 is around that mark, and you will maintain the rights to all of your music, and you will receive 100% of the publishing royalties for that. So anyway, I thought I'd throw that out there just for those of you who watch this and you are in a band or you do write your own music and you're wondering about it. But anyway, so because it's dealt with by them, I get a copyright claim on my live streams, even though it's my stuff and it's covered. But anyway, let's get into suggesting what you guys want to see. I'm going to throw this over to the comment section. So I'm going to be reading the comments to see if anybody out there knows one of my tracks. And actually, we've already had Hero, the live version, Percy Johnson, and That's Metal to My Ears. So if you want to suggest something, Don't Cry has been, of course, suggested by Ian, and Ian did his own version of Don't Cry. So if Ian can put the link in the description or somehow work it into the comments, then you can then check out Ian's version of Don't Cry. It's a more folk version of it. But let me see if I've got Don't Cry on the screen. This is the other thing that I might have to try and find it. It might be one of those videos that I've removed in order to find it, but I think I have it at the bottom of the screen here. Fingers crossed this is going to work. So everybody can thank Ian for this. It's going to be my song called Don't Cry, obviously, and I'll see you guys after this, and I'll be in the comments section as always. So this is Don't Cry. Rock. So that was my song called Don't Cry, and that has my sister on it. As I mentioned, whenever it's on, I don't think she still realizes. I'm not going to tell her that she's on one of my videos, because just that's what brothers do, just put their sisters in videos and don't tell them about it. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I saw a message from, let's get into the super chats, but I did see a message from Vince saying that to mention he hosts an after party on the Facebook Wings of Pegasus supporters page. So if you guys want to head over to there after this live stream, then Vince will be organizing that for you guys, and you can join that group on Facebook. It's the Wings of Pegasus supporters group. So make sure you head over there, and Tennessee Moppy will allow you to join that, and that's where you can continue on the conversation if you want to. But let's get back into the super chats, because we've had a little bit of action, quite a lot of action, and after, let's see where we got to. Empress Mermaid has donated $5, so thank you for that again, and it's another serial donator. Also need a shirt that says "Let's see how they get on." That's another quote that can be on this shirt that just encompasses all of the quotes and the things that I say on my analysis videos. But thank you, Empress Mermaid, for that. And Carla has donated $4.99, just a straight up donation. Thank you, Carla. And then we have Beanie Angela, who has donated $5. Thank you for that, Angela. And Empress Mermaid again with a $2 donation. And the message is, don't forget, and there we have it. So we're getting a lot of quotes going on now for this t-shirt. But then Chopping Broccoli has donated $5 as well. And the message is, we will organise a PhilCon in the States. Our boy needs a vacay and to meet his fans. That is it. I think everyone will know if I'm on holiday, because the videos will suddenly stop for 2 weeks and there'll be nothing happening. And I think maybe I'll do some in advance and be able to release them. And then on a Tuesday night, if I am away, I can do a live stream from wherever I am in the USA. That'd be really cool. And maybe you guys could be on the live stream as well. We could maybe organise it all, get the timing right, so that when I go live on a Tuesday, everyone can see everyone who's normally in the comment section, but in real life. That would be the most interesting live stream ever. But thank you, Chopping Broccoli, for that $5 donation. And Kathy has donated $5 under that as well. Thank you, Kathy. I can't see the message. Let me see if it's over here. Let's see. Okay, yes. Still think it's sweet you videoed your sister without her knowing. You are sneaky, laugh out loud. So thank you for that, Kathy. That's, yeah, like I said, that's what brothers are for. And we've had another donation, and this is Angela again. Let me just try and catch this message, and it's a $10 donation. Thank you, Angela, for that. And the message is, just figured out how to add message. So there we go. Excellent. Angela can now write a message, so I'll be looking forward to those in the future. But thank you for everybody's messages in the comment section tonight. There also was a question that I saw asking who played the drums on Don't Cry, and that was my drummer from my band, Wings of Pegasus, before we went our separate ways. Actually, no, after we went our separate ways. We're still in contact, so whenever I need something done that's just amazing on drums, the guy that I call is my old drummer, and his name is James Knowles, or Knowlesy, but he taught drums for Yamaha. I'm not sure if he's still doing that now, but he's probably doing session work on the side as well. So more often than not, if I am playing live anywhere, then James is the guy that I get in touch with to lay down the drums, because he knows the album. He did the album, the drums on the album. So in terms of getting a live representation of exactly the same drums that are on the album, I just get him, because, as I said, a session guy who can play to a click without missing a beat. So it's such a luxury to have musicians that you can contact, especially on the drums, who do something that you like and then they can just reproduce that time after time after time perfectly in time. It's, yeah, one of those things that finding a good drummer is such an important thing for live performance. It's something that I mention in a lot of analysis videos, especially with bands who play to click tracks. It's all about the drummer in those kind of situations, and I bring that up and really point everyone in the direction of the drummer, because they do so much and they might not get as much attention as they deserve, especially with some bands where they're just totally overlooked. But never overlook the rhythm section in a band, because that's where it all starts. But anyway, thank you so much for that donation. And that was Beanie, the last one that we got to, but Julie has just donated a $5 amount. So thank you, Julie, for that donation. And thank you for that question. I can't remember who asked that about the drums, but thank you for that question about the drum playing on Don't Cry. And I'm going to have to call it a night pretty soon now, because it's now 1:10 in the morning here in the UK. But thank you everybody for joining me tonight and hitting that thumbs up button if you have. I've forgotten to ask everybody to hit that thumbs up, so if you can do that now, that would be great. If you're watching this in the future and this is the recorded version, you can still hit that thumbs up. It really does help the channel to be spread around and get even more subscribers. And thank you everyone for hitting that subscribe button and for hitting the like button on the videos as well, because it just moves everything along to the point where now it is just crazy numbers of 100,000, 101,000 actually subscribers at the moment. So thank you everybody. And I'm gonna tempt fate just by saying that the amount of trolling, is that the right word for it? But the trolls that get onto the internet and just jump from one place to the next. Fortunately, fingers crossed, we've been so lucky with that. And maybe with this live stream, again, massive shout out to the moderators who keep everything in order. You know who you are. The deputies as well as the sheriff, who really look after everything in the comment section, because it seems like it's such a cool place to be, considering how many trolls there might be in the comment section of the live streams. But in general, there's so many great comments and not a whole lot of the other stuff going on. So thank you guys so much for making it such a cool place to be. And Lynn has donated $50 in the super chat. Thank you so much for that, Lynn. Thank you everybody in the super chat, and thank you so much for joining in tonight. And Julie, above that, did I mention the message happy getting to watch live? I just want to make sure that I read all of the super chat donations and the messages, because it makes such a difference, as well as the people at the bottom of the screen. Again, my patrons make every video possible that I do on YouTube. Every single night I'm able to do a video and spend less time teaching. I'm still teaching guitar at the moment, but I have managed to reduce my hours. Hopefully you guys can tell the difference, if you've been here a long time, the difference between the videos that I used to do when I first started and now the amount of hours that I can put into it, in terms of researching bands that I don't know a lot about, but being able to tell you something about it that is interesting, or maybe an interesting fact about another band that you might not know. Fortunately, there are so many great suggestions that they are bands that I have had exposure to in the past. But thank you everybody for tuning in, joining me tonight on Livestream Tuesday. We've just had another donation. This is from Rose, and it is $2. And Lynn's message, I can see now, has just popped up. It says, thanks for adding so much sparkle to the evenings, days, mornings, nights. We are all over the world. So thank you, Lynn, for that message, and thank you, Rose, for the donation underneath that. If there is a message from Rose, I can't see it at the moment, so I might have to wait a little bit of time. I will make sure that I read that. There's another section I can go to after the live stream's over that has all the messages of the super chat listed on there. So I can't see Rose's message at the moment, but hopefully fingers crossed, I'll be able to check that out later, Rose, so don't worry about that. And also, just a footnote, Rose did request Amelia over on Patreon, but because of putting all of these things on the screen that took me half an hour before I came live on screen, making the live stream thing happen, I'm amazed that all of this has worked, but hopefully it seems like we might go the whole way through with all of this extra stuff. So apologies to Rose for not playing Amelia, because I didn't have time to upload it onto the show, and by the time I would have done that, I would have been late, so I just had to go live at 12 midnight. I try and get it exactly on the button because I make an event and some people might be tuning in, so I couldn't unfortunately get that on the show, but next week maybe I can put Amelia into the show for Rose. But thank you for that $2 donation. I will check out the message at the end of the live stream. I'm gonna have to call it a night now, guys, so thank you so much for tuning in and for the requests over on Patreon, and above all for the likes. And it looks like Kathy has just said we've got 329 likes, so we made it. We hit the target for tonight's live stream. So thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up button. Thank you for tuning in. If I don't see you guys over on Patreon, I always go on there every night to check the messages. If I don't see you guys on there, I'll see you in the comments section of tomorrow night's analysis video. And in terms of live, I'll be here at the same time, the same place next Tuesday night for Live Stream Tuesdays. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you everybody in the comments section. Kathy, Luan, Louise, Lisa, Todd, Alicia is going too fast, Last Star Day 7, Julie, Empress Mermaid, Mike, and Rose, and Booch, and Jesus, Elaine, Marcia. Marcia's in the house as well. Hello Marcia, and Lynn, and Lou, and Jeff, and Dave. Thank you guys so much, and Laurie for moderating as well, and Kathy, who will be in there somewhere as well, moderating. Thank you guys so much. I'm not sure I've seen Neil in there yet, but like I said before, moderators, thank you so much for the great job that you do, and I will see you guys next week for Live Stream Tuesday and in the analysis videos comment section. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button and subscribing and making the subscriber count so ridiculous, but amazingly ridiculous. 100,000 subscribers. Just quickly, at the end of the live stream, I just want to throw in there, probably some people have left, but to celebrate the 100,000 subscriber mark, I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, going to be getting together with Buck Dharma from Blue Oyster Cult, and we'll join up on a video and chat about musical things and guitars, and I'll post that on the channel at some point as well. We've just got to get our diaries sorted out so that we're both free to do an online call type thing, but hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to upload that to YouTube either at the end of this month or the beginning of next month. So that'll be a little celebration. Again, thank you guys for liking and subscribing, and I will see you guys next week and in the comment section of the analysis videos. Catch you later, guys. Rock!